Hello, my name is Abby Trapp and I'm doing the Slant Method. You may or may not have heard about it, but the Slant Method is an acronym to help students stay focused in the classroom by using 5 letters. The 5 letters are S, L, A, and T. So if you're wondering what it looks like, then we can scroll down. The S stands for sit up. You want your student to sit up in an appropriate posture. Listen. The student needs to be listening to the speaker, whether it's a classmate or the teacher or another professional. Ask. If a student is asking and answering questions, then they are retaining the information. N stands for nod your head. And they can agree or disagree, shaking their head up and down or left and right. T in SLANT stands for track the speaker. The objectives of SLANT are to help students maintain focus, get the students to actively participate, and it reinforces life skills that you'll need as an adult, such as sitting up straight and listening to others. The targeted audience for this is elementary students. You don't want to use this for older students because they're less likely to pay attention to rules, but you can use this if it'll work for your class and your environment. It's used for students who have difficulty paying attention and staying focused. The materials you need are a qualifying teacher. The teacher has to set up what SLANT is the first day and remind students constantly. Because it's a new terminology, the students may or may not know what it stands for, what it means. It could just be another word to them. The teacher has to know how to teach the SLANT method to the students so they can use it. Many schools have SLANT written on the desk or the board. This helps the teacher refer back to it when she sees the need. You should use it on the first day just to teach the students what SLANT means. When you notice your students are losing focus, you can say, "Class, remember SLANT," and they would know to sit up and follow the steps. Redirecting someone is also another time you can use it. If someone's losing focus, they can move on. So the procedures, I've repeated this like 3 times, but on the first day you must review what SLANT stands for. If you have a new student, tell them this is what we do. We SLANT. We sit up, listen, ask and answer questions, nod our heads, and track the speaker. So when the students hear SLANT, they know they have to sit up straight in their seat and they have to listen to whoever's speaking. Now, it doesn't mean they have to instantly start asking or answering questions. It means that they can ask questions and answer questions, but they're listening to see if it's appropriate to do so. Nodding their head, they can go up or down, like, "Yes, I agree, I'm getting the information," or left or right, like, "No, I don't agree with that, but I'm still listening, I'm paying attention." Tracking the speaker is when the eyes are on whoever is speaking, and this helps them listen to the speaker because if your eyes are following the speaker, you're more likely to pay attention. I put an example in here. I said, "Jimmy has a hard time paying attention in class, but when he tracks the teacher, his focus is guided towards the learning." So when Miss Trapp notices that Jimmy is no longer following her, she simply tells the class to SLANT. This does not single Jimmy out, and it helps other students get back on task as well. The teacher notices that the student is off task, he's not paying attention, he's slouching, he's putting his head down. So she says, "Class, let's SLANT." And the students know, all right, we need to sit up, we need to listen, and we need to see if there's any questions I have or may have or that I need to answer. Then nod our head like, yes, I'm listening, and track the speaker. Modifications. There's really not too many modifications because of what this method is, but you could verbally teach the student what SLANT stands for, which you should, and you can have SLANT written on the desk if a student is near or farsighted. You can also have it on the board and visual cues to remind students to SLANT. You can be like, hey class, let's SLANT, or like the look. You can give a certain student the look and they'll know to SLANT. Some assessment questions I have are, what is the most important part of the SLANT method to you and why? How do you see yourself using this method? And when should you use the SLANT method? Should it be used constantly? Thank you.